My block. Easy. Sit. That's enough. Enough. Fresh you. Okay, back up. Back. Good voice. Hi everyone, whether you're joining me now or joining me later, thanks for joining me, period. It's been a while, clearly, because my dogs are not used to this anymore. Anyway, yeah, I've been kind of out of commission. Back off, Walter. Go lay down. Come on, in your bed. So hopefully they'll settle in once we all settle in. Can't make any promises, as usual. So this morning we're going to focus on part of the first limb of yoga. And so there are 8 limbs of yoga, if you are not aware of this already. And only one of those 8 limbs or 8 parts have to do with the actual poses or positions that we find on the mat. And technically that's the 3rd limb of yoga. The first 2 limbs really focus on self-observances and how we interact with the world. And so the first limb of yoga is referred to as the yamas, and there are 5 of them. And we'll just speak about just one of them today. And satya is one of those yamas, and satya translates to, in English, truthfulness. And just like some of the other yamas, like ahimsa, ahimsa translates to nonviolence. The obvious translation and the obvious practice is just that, it's obvious, right? We don't want to be violent towards others or violent towards ourselves physically for ahimsa. And satya, yeah, we want to be able to be truthful not only to others but to ourselves. But satya is not easy. Satya is a challenging thing to be truthful, not just for the obvious truths, but maybe when you know that the truth can be uncomfortable for not only yourself but for others. So satya not only has us focus on just telling the truth, but it also, one common way of describing satya is asking yourself before you speak whether or not your words can travel through 2 or 3, sometimes 4 different gates. First, are the words truthful? Are the words inspiring or helpful? Are the words kind? And most importantly, are they necessary? So thinking of those kind of gates before you speak out loud and maybe tell somebody the truth. But for this practice, not necessarily focused on telling others the truth or being truthful to others, but actually being more truthful to yourself. So satya for me, we're often told to be open to new things, to always say yes, but for satya, it's also okay to say no. So thinking about parts of your own life, whether it's being asked to take an extra shift at work, whether it's asked to do a favor for a neighbor, whether you're being asked to, whatever it might be, being asked to do something, join a group, leave a group, you need to ask yourself whether or not it is truly going to benefit you, and not just benefit others. So being truthful to what you can handle, not only physically, but also mentally, which brings us to Satya on the mat, right? So we often think of yoga as being all of these pretzel-like poses, and in some cases, some of us can find those positions relatively easily, but for most of us, we can't. So Satya on the mat translates to you being truthful about where your body is and how your body is at the time that you find your mat. So even if you can find certain positions some days, maybe you can't on 9:30 at 9:30 in the morning on a Saturday, and that's okay. So just being accepting of whatever situation you're in, whatever circumstance you might lie in. That being said, enough of me talking. Let's find ourselves here to a child's pose. If you have a strap or a towel or a belt, have it nearby. I can't actually make promises that we'll use it, but just in the event that we do, good to have. Also blocks, if you have 2 blocks or at least 1, that would be great. Just helps for restorative positions and to actually help you get deeper into poses, even though you might think it does the reverse. So for a child's pose, you take those knees nice and wide, you walk the arms out in front, let the forehead rest down to the mat. Option to bring that block underneath the forehead if that creates a little bit more comfort on the head and the neck. And from here, beginning to turn our focus to how our body feels right now, how our mind feels right now, and being truthful about however it is that you arrive. One of my favorite concepts to think about when I find my mat is that your mat will take whatever it is that you are bringing to it. Whatever baggage, disappointments, fears, your mat's here to support you. So be truthful about how you're coming to your mat today, whether there are aches and pains, physically or emotionally. Take a long breath in through the nose, letting the mouth open and exhale. Doing that another time, a long breath in through the nose, letting the mouth open and exhale. From here, and hopefully through the end of practice, traveling, or letting that breath travel in and out of the nose. Breathing in. A slight constriction into the back of the throat as you exhale. 2 more times. Maybe allow the fingertips to reach out a little bit more. Breathe into the back side of the lungs. Inhale. And let the exhale be just a couple seconds longer than that inhale. Final breath in, maybe lift the forehead, breathing through the back side of the lungs. And a long exhale out. From here, shift to one side, walk the hands in just a little, just to align the knees a little bit more with the hips. And then walk those arms a little bit more out. Let the forehead find the mat as you find a puppy dog pose. So for puppy dog pose, it's more like you're up onto the knees and the shins, but you're letting that low back be long. You're letting the torso reach towards the mat while the arms are still out in front. Take a breath in and a breath out. Lift the forehead, walk the hands in, then find yourself to a tabletop position. Once you're in tabletop, those palms are underneath the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. Activate the arms and the legs by driving them towards each other without literally moving them. Hug the belly button up. Keep the gaze down at first. Then as you breathe in, the belly will drop, the gaze and the tailbone will lift. As you breathe out, press the mat away. Curl the spine, tuck the chin. 2 more times. Breathing in, belly drops, gaze and tailbone lifts. Press the mat away, curl the spine, tuck the chin. Final time, breathe in, constriction in the throat, and exhale out. From here, finding some stability in the left palm as you extend the right arm out in front, Palm either faces in or down. Now from here, you have the option to first engage the shoulder into the socket and then press into the right shin. Extend that left leg out behind you. The toes will point down. The left hip will ideally square with the right, which might involve a little bit of lowering, but then lift from the left hamstring, hug the belly button up. Hold for 3, for 2, another breath in, and out. Bend into that left knee, reach back with the right hand, find the connection, kick the foot to the hand, lift the heart slightly, try to drop the right shoulder, and breathe. This is a pretty deep quad stretch. Take another breath in, and a breath out. Final inhale, and release that leg and arm out in front, gaze down, and tabletop position. One round of cow and cat in between to reset the spine and find yourself here to a neutral spine. Once you find yourself there, let the right palm stay right where it is, and then extend the left arm out in front. Did we just do that one? Yeah, we did. Oh boy, extend the right arm out in front. Then, no we didn't, I had it right. Left arm out in front, and then extend that right leg out behind you. Drop that right hip, keep the gaze down at first, and then lift a little bit higher from that hamstring, belly button to the sky. Breathing for 3, breathing for 2, another full breath in. Stay for that breath out. A bend into that right knee, reaching back to that ankle. Try to kick the foot into the hand. Keep it flexed. Your gaze and your heart might lift. Breathing in and out. Another full inhale and exhale. Final breath in, and release the leg and the arm out long with the breath out. Tabletop position. The belly will drop. Final cow and cat, and curl the spine. Find a neutral spine. Walk those hands a handprint ahead. Tuck the toes underneath behind you. Sink the hips back towards the heels, just to give yourself a good little stretch in the feet. Maybe connecting with the Achilles tendons, and then take a look to those fingertips. See that they're all along the same line, and then try to think about where your down dog feels good. Is it when the middle fingers point to the top of the mat, or is it when you have a slight external rotation with both hands so the pointer finger goes to the top of the mat? Hands are at least shoulders width apart, and then when you're ready, shift forward slightly, keep those toes tucked, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, use your breath to guide yourself through whatever movement feels good. As you keep pressing into the fingertips, the heels of the hands, maybe look left and right, maybe nod the head yes. Holding here for 3, for 2, finding stillness for the final breath in, and for the breath out. Use your full inhale from the top of the spine first. Begin to roll forward to plank pose. Press the mat away, full exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more times, breathing in, and breathing out. Nice and slow, 1 more time, breathing in, and exhale. Find tippy toes as you breathe in, bend the knees, look forward, walk yourself to ragdoll pose at the top of your mat. Once you arrive here, bend the knees, let the whole upper body hang heavy, Maybe sway side to side. Perhaps find the opposite position of the hands from down dog to give the wrists a break if they can find the mat. Or maybe find interlaced fingers to the base of the skull. The more you bend your knees, the more you should feel a release in the spine and the low back. Maybe you even widen the stance more if you can find that torso a little bit more between the thighs. Again, more length in the spine. A breath in and release the bind. Guide the toes together with the breath out. Find your blocks if you have them. Bring them out in front, tallest level, or fingertips to the shins. Halfway lift, holding here. Try to shift the body weight forward. Try to lift or actually press those inner thighs behind you, then out. Shoulder blades together, belly button up, crown of the head forward. Full breath in. Hands off blocks or shins, forward fold. Micro bend in the knees, reverse swan dive those arms up to the sky, gaze up, palms to touch. Move through center, bend the knees and fold. Hands to blocks, halfway lift. And forward fold. 2 more times. Bend the knees, reverse swan dive up, gaze up, heart opens. Move through center and fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Final time. Extend your mountain, breathe in. And forward fold. Hands on blocks, halfway lift. Keep the right foot right where it is, step the left foot back. Now you do have the choice to adjust the blocks down or to not have blocks at all, which in that case you might tent the fingertips. Gaze is to the top of the mat, heart somewhat lifted, breathing in and breathing out. A full inhale and exhale. Let that left knee almost find the mat, breathe in and lift, breathe out. 2 more times, bend, almost let it touch, and lift. Final time, and lift. From here, let the left knee come down to the mat nice and gentle, shoelace part of the foot. Interlace fingers to the right thigh, take a full inhale in, and sink deep. Let the shoulders melt back and down on the breath out. Option to extend the palms up towards the sky. Maybe find interlaced fingers, trigger finger releases. Biceps along the ears, activate the legs, driving them together. Find a little bit of length in the spine as you breathe in. Slight reach to the right with the breath out. Hold for an inhale and an exhale. Come through center as you breathe in. Bring your hands down to those blocks. Either keep the block on the left side right where it is, or remove it and bring the palm right down to the floor. Move the right block. Walk the right foot just a little bit out so that the toes turn out, and then you can let that right knee open just a little bit, maybe with some help with the right hand. Holding for a breath in and a breath out. Option to stay right here or add a little bit of that quad stretch with a bend into the left knee. Now for most of us, we'll stay right here. It's still early in practice. We'll find this stretch or a variation of this stretch later. Take a breath in and release that leg down, right knee back over the ankle and frame the foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee and step the right foot back to meet the left. Plank pose. Take a breath in, press the mat away, downward facing dog. Full inhale in, mouth opens, exhale. Roll forward, plank pose. Let the knees tap down to the mat, but keep the spine long. Elbow creases are forward, take a full inhale in, and slowly lower down. Once you're there, baby cobra, heart will lift, press into the feet, exhale to your mat. One more, baby cobra, breathe in, lift up, and exhale, release down. Press yourself up, modified plank, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Full breath in, long breath out. Tippy toes, breathe in, bend the knees, look forward, step or float, to the front of your mat. Toes come together, blocks out in front, halfway lift. And as you breathe out, walk the blocks back, step the right leg back, low lunge. Once you're here, make sure that left knee is over the ankle. As I've mentioned on the other side, you have the option to ditch the blocks, lower the blocks, but just try to keep that torso active. The feet driving towards each other without literally moving them. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Let the right knee almost find the mat and then lift from the hamstring up. Breathe in, bend down. Breathe out, lift up. One more time without moving that left knee or upper body and lift back up. Let that right knee find the mat, shoelace part of the foot. Activate the legs and interlaced fingers, left thigh. Full breath in and sink deep into the hips, right hip flexor, yet still hugging the belly in. Maybe stay here or extend those arms up. Find the awkward interlace of the fingers, releasing the trigger finger. Find a little bit of length as you breathe in and a slight reach to the left. You're here for an inhale and for an exhale. Come through center as you breathe in. Bring those hands down to the blocks. Adjust the blocks lower. Ditch the left block or ditch the right block. Plant the right hand. Begin to walk that left foot a little to the left. Toes turn out. Left hand to the knee as you open that hip. You might sink slightly to the right if that feels good. Take a breath in and a breath out. Adding that quad stretch, if you wish, keeping that foot flexed, trying to find the top of the right knee rather than the kneecap. Take another breath in and a long breath out. Final inhale and release that leg back down, recenter that foot, framing it with the fingertips, lifting the back knee. Stepping the right foot up to meet the left. Fingertips find the blocks, highest level, flat back. And forward fold. Reverse swan dive up, lift up, gaze up. Move through center and fold. Hands on blocks, breathe in. And step that left leg back, low lunge. We're gonna keep that back knee lifted. Find stability in the feet. And interlaced fingers, right thigh. Always the option to drop the knee, otherwise extend the arms up, whether that knee is down or up. Interlaced fingers, trigger finger releases, full breath in, find length. Slight reach to the right with the breath out. Stay, inhale, and exhale. Move through center as you breathe in, release the bind, hands come down to the blocks. Let the left knee tap down to the mat. Remove the blocks, plant the left hand. Right hand above the knee, walk the foot out, toes turn out, hip opens. Sink to the left slightly. Maybe a bend into that left knee. Maybe you're ready for a reach back with that right hand. Try to keep the foot flexed to protect the knee and the muscles in the joint. Take a breath in and a breath out. Release that bind, guide the knee back over the ankle, reframe the foot. Plant the palms, lift the back knee, right leg steps back, plank pose. Tap the knees to the mat, spin the elbow creases forward, full breath in. As you exhale, lower halfway down. As you breathe in, shine the heart, let the hips relax, let the shoulders melt down, cobra pose, teeny micro bend in the elbows. Take a breath in and move through tabletop, downward dog, breathing out. Full inhale in, long exhale out. One more inhale, and an exhale. Tippy toes, breathe in, bend the knees, look forward, step forward, float to the front of your mat. Hands on blocks, halfway lift, and forward fold. Halfway lift, blocks walk back, right leg steps back, low lunge. Left knee over the ankle, find stability, interlaced fingers, left thigh, full breath in. Sink deeper as you breathe out. Extend the arms to the sky, awkward interlace of the fingers. Find a little bit of length as you inhale. And a reach to the left as you exhale. A full breath in and a full breath out. Coming back to center as you breathe in and bring those hands down to frame the foot and find that right knee down to the mat. Did I just do the same leg? I think I did. I'll jump switch that as I drop the left knee. No, I didn't. I had it right. Man, you can tell I'm right back to where I used to be. My lefts and rights all messed up. Once you are here, you can remove those blocks. Plant the right hand, left hand above the knee. Open that hip. Maybe sink to the right. Hold here, full breath in and a breath out. Maybe you find a bend into that right knee. Maybe you reach back for the ankle. 2 rounds of breath. Another full breath in and a long breath out. One more inhale and a release of that bind, guiding the foot back to center. Plant the palms. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, step the right foot up to meet the left. Hands on blocks, flat back, and forward fold. Widen those feet, hips width apart. Find a block, place it to the inside of the thighs, as high as you can go. Then bring the feet a little bit closer together, though they definitely won't touch. Finding chair pose with the block. Bend the knees, sit into your imaginary seat, and bring the arms to the sky. Squeeze the block, biceps along the ears, shoulders relaxed. Breathing here for 3. Sink deeper for 2. Another full breath in and forward fold, breathing out. Bend the knees, remove the block, place them out in front, halfway lift. And as you breathe out, bend the knees, plant the palms, left leg steps back, low lunge. Once you find yourself here, hands on blocks, highest level, take a full breath in, long breath out. Adjust those blocks to the medium level, then let the fingertips hover. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Arms extend out in front, gaze still slightly down, biceps along the ears, legs are strong, breathing in and exhale. Breathe in up to crescent lunge. As you exhale, try to settle a little bit deeper. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Full inhale. And first warrior 2, back heel drops, front toes don't move, arms to a T. Bend a little bit more into the front knee, centralize the torso, guide the legs either together or apart without literally moving them. Full breath in, long breath out. Flip the front palm, reach up and back, reverse your warrior. As you exhale, cartwheel those hands down, frame the foot, find the ball of the back foot. Tap the left knee down to the mat, shoelace part of the foot. Adjust the block on the inside of the foot to the lowest level. Right hand comes above the knee. This time, keep the knee over the ankle. Take a full breath in. Press into the knee to shift the torso and the gaze to the right. Now, as we find this twist, really focusing that twist on the torso, trying to relax the shoulders and the jaw. Maybe you'll stay right here, or a few choices. Maybe you lift the back knee, keep that right knee over the ankle, try to drop the right hip, lift the left hip. If they're stable, if they're square, if you want, you can extend the right arm up. Now you always have the choice to extend the arm, whether that knee is down or up. For 3, for 2, another full breath in and out. Bring the gaze to the side, full inhale. Reach the right arm behind you, then in front of you, and extend it back up. Another time behind you and in front. Final time, behind you, keep hitting my block, and in front. Full breath in, and then bring those hands back down to the blocks. Tap that left knee back to the mat if it's not already there. Walk the hands back, lengthen into that front leg, and lift those right toes. A full breath in, long breath out. Another full inhale, and an exhale. Final breath in, maybe the blocks walk out a little bit more, and maybe you hinge over that thigh with the exhale. Coming back upright, a bend back into the front knee, reframe the foot, tallest level. Lift the back knee and step up to meet the right. Forward fold. Hands on blocks, flat back, and forward fold. Widen those feet, hips width, take that block between the thighs, bring the toes back a little bit closer, chair pose. Hips sink, arms up, sink deeper, breathe out. Squeeze the block for 3. Hug the belly button in for 2. Another full breath in, and forward fold, breathing out. Bend the knees, remove the block, place it out in front. Halfway lift, breathe in. And step the right leg back to your low lunge. Hands are on blocks, heart somewhat lifted, full breath in. And a full breath out. Adjust the blocks medium level, fingertips hover. Full inhale in, long exhale out. Extend those arms out in front, gaze is down, breathing in. And exhale. Crescent lunge as you inhale, sinking a little bit deeper, breathing out. A full breath in, and a long breath out. Another full inhale, and the back heel drops, arms to a T, warrior 2. Centralize the torso, bend a little bit more into that front knee, arms are strong, breathing in, and breathing out. Another full inhale, and exhale. Flip the palm, reach up and back, reverse the warrior, keep the front knee bent, and cartwheel those hands down. Find your blocks, and scooch the right knee back and down. From here, block on the inside, adjust to the lowest level, left hand above the knee stays above the ankle as you breathe in. Keep it there as you twist to the left with the breath out. Any options or variations you took on the other side, finding them here, whether it's a lift of that back knee, try to keep those hips square, the front knee over the ankle, or a release of the arm towards the sky. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. Another full breath in, and a breath out. Gaze neutral, breathe in, reach that arm back, and then reach it back forward and up. 2 more times, reaching back, and up, reaching back, forward, and up. Hold for the breath in, and that left hand comes back down to the blocks. Find that highest level, and let the right knee drop again, if it's not already there. Shoelace part of the foot, walk those hands back, lift the left toes, half split. Heart is lifted as you breathe. Another breath in, and a breath out. Maybe you walk those blocks more forward, breathe in, and fold over with the breath out. Walk those blocks back to the front of the mat, bend into the front knee, remove the blocks. Plant the palms, lift the back knee, and step the left foot back to meet the right. Option to tap the knees or to keep them lifted. If they're lifted, rock forward, lowering halfway down, chaturanga. First, upward facing dog, maybe cobra, thighs lifted in up dog, gaze in front, shoulders sliding together, pressing into the mat for height, a full breath in, and downward facing dog, exhale. You're here for 3. Release the head and neck, maybe find movement for 2. Another full breath in, and a long breath out. Full inhale, and walk the hands back to the feet on your exhale. The toes come together, first flat back without blocks, inhale, and forward fold. Reverse swan dive, those arms up towards the sky, gaze up, look up, and hands come to heart center. Let the eyes close, take a long breath in, and a long breath out. Another full inhale, and exhale. From here, grounding into the corners of the right foot, step the left foot up onto an imaginary stool. From there, begin to open the left knee, left hip to the side. Keep that left foot flexed. Shoulders relaxed, take a full breath in. And then find the sole of the foot to the calf, or lift that sole of the foot to the inner thigh for tree pose. Take a full breath in, and a long breath out. Maybe you stay right here, or maybe 2 choices. Extend the arms up towards the sky, maybe let the palms separate, fingers wide, shoulders still engaged. Option 2, arms come down behind you, interlace the fingers, press the palms together, maybe lift those hands as you hug the belly button in for a little bit of a shoulder stretch. Take a full breath in, and a long breath out. Wherever you are, maybe lifting the heart and the gaze. Another inhale, and exhale. If you took a bind, observe what thumb is on top. Release the bind, arms to the sky, palms together, trigger finger releases. Left foot steps onto that imaginary stool, step it forward, and then find that right knee up onto that imaginary stool. Take a full breath in. Begin to hinge forward, bend into the standing leg, warrior 3, as you find a capital T. Your gaze comes down, the hips are square. Use the big left toe as you lift from the right hamstring. Holding for 3, for 2, another full breath in, and out. Coming up the same way you came down, and step that right foot forward, hands to heart center, and bring that left knee next to the right. Bend into the left leg so the knees are still next to each other. Right hand to the hip. Left hand comes out to the side, palm facing up. Find the inside of the ankle or the top of the foot as you set up for dancer pose. Now for a lot of us, being truthful to where your body is and where your balance is, you might stay right here, guiding those knees together. You might even find reversing the hand to the outside of the ankle is a little bit more comfortable. Option 2, keeping the hand to the inside, extending the right arm up. Take a full breath in. Kick the foot into the hand as you hinge forward slightly and bring that right arm out in front, fingers towards the sky. Hips attempting to be square, although probably not really, for 3, for 2, another breath in, and out. Coming back up the way you came down, release the bind, hands to prayer, left foot on the stool, and then allow it to meet the right. Roll out that right ankle, roll out the left ankle, extend the prayer, breathe in, and bend the knees, forward fold. Hands on blocks, highest level, breathe in. Bend the knees, step the left leg back to your lunge. Adjust the blocks down, hover the fingertips, breathe in. Extend the arms out in front, breathe out. Arms come up, crescent lunge, inhale. Sink deeper, exhale. Lift the heart, lift the gaze, breathe in. Move through center, warrior two, breathe out. Flip the front palm up and back, breathe in. Cartwheel those hands down, frame the foot, drop the left knee, breathe out. Adjust the block on the left side, lowest level, right hand above the knee, breathe in. Twist to the right, breathe out. Lift the back knee, extend the right arm, breathe in. Extend the arm behind you, then out in front, back up on the exhale. Whole breath in, and both hands down to those blocks, highest level. Option to tap the left knee down or keep it lifted, full breath in. Press into the blocks, lengthen the front leg, maybe lift those right toes. Maybe some calf strengthening on the back leg. Breathe in, lift up to the ball of the foot. Breathe out, lower the heel down. 2 more times. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, lower down. Final time, inhale and exhale. Sole of the right foot back down, bend back into the front knee. And from here, remove blocks, frame the foot, step the right leg back to meet the left. Reset first in down dog, take a full breath in. Long breath out. Roll forward, plank pose. Knees down or up, chaturanga. Shine that heart with your breath in. Downward facing dog, your breath out. Full inhale in. Mouth opens, exhale. Letting that sequence go. Before we find the other sequence, our final hip opener and inversion. Another full breath in. Long breath out. Full inhale. And the hands walk back to the feet at the back of the mat. Exhale. Toes together, flat back. And forward fold. Micro bend in the knees, reverse swan dive, those arms up, look up, gaze up. And hands to prayer. Let the eyes close, take a breath in. And a breath out. Grounding into the corners of the left foot. Step the right foot onto your imaginary stool. Keep that foot flexed, shoulders relaxed, breathing in. And open the knee and the hip to the right with the breath out. A full inhale in, and the sole of the foot finds the calf or lift to the inner thigh. Shoulders relaxed, pretend someone's pulling you from the top of the head taller, and then maybe extend that prayer up towards the sky. Palms might separate, fingers might point down as the wrists flex, or maybe palms come behind you. Find the awkward interlace of the fingers. So remember when I said observe the thumb, opposite thumb on top, slide the shoulder blades together, lift the arms, hug the belly in, breathing in, and breathing out. Another full inhale, and exhale. Maybe lift the heart and the gaze. Stay for the breath out. Neutralize the gaze, reach the arms back up to the sky. Awkward interlace of the fingers, trigger finger releases. Right foot steps on the stool, step it forward, left foot up onto your stool. Take a full breath in. Bend into the standing leg as you find your capital T, warrior three, gaze down. Use that big right toe. Flex those left toes down, lift from the hamstring for 3, 4, 2. Another full breath in and out. Coming up the way you came down, left foot on that stool. Step it forward, hands to prayer. bend into the right knee. The knees are next to each other. Left hand finds the hip. Right arm out to the side, palm up. Find the inside of that ankle and then guide the knees together. Remember, you can stay right here or find the reverse positioning of the hands or find the full dancer pose. From here, use that big left toe. Extend the left arm up. A full breath in. Kick the foot into the hands. Standing leg bends slightly for stability. Oh boy, sounds like there's a dog going by. Just enough to mess with my balance. 2 more rounds of breath. Another full breath in and out. Coming up the same way you came down, right foot on the stool, hands to prayer, right foot meets the left. Roll out those ankles. Extend your prayer, breathe in, and swan dive, forward fold. Hands on blocks out in front, flat back, and step the right leg back to your low lunge. Once you're here, take a full breath in, adjust those blocks lower, fingertips hover, and extend the arms out in front. Crescent lunge as you breathe in, sink deeper with the breath out. Maybe lift the heart and the gaze as you inhale. Move through center, warrior 2, exhale. Flip the front palm, reach up and back. And cartwheel those hands down, frame the foot. Find the highest setting, keep the back knee lifted. Full breath in. Oh wait, actually, we're gonna adjust that block down. Drop the right knee and bring the left hand above the knee. Take a full breath in and twist to the left. A full inhale, lift the back knee and extend that left arm. Reach the arm back and then forward, breathe in. And as you breathe out, hands to the blocks. Highest level on those blocks, back knee stays lifted, breathe in. And press into the blocks. Lift the left toes, square the hips forward. You can always adjust the location of the blocks if you feel any strain on the back. Calf strengthening on the back leg. Lift up to the ball of the foot. Exhale, let it sink down. 2 more times. Lift up and sink down. 1 more time, lift up and back down. From here, lift up, find a bend into the front knee. And once you're there, remove the blocks, plant the palms, and step the left leg back to meet the right. Knees down or up, rock forward if they're up. Chaturanga with the breath out. Heart shines, shoulders relax, hips relax. Downward facing dog, exhale. A full breath in and a long breath out. Toes come together behind you. Right leg extends to the sky. First, 3-legged dog. Take a look to those right toes, then lift onto the ball of the left foot and let the left foot lower. Keep that right leg nice and strong. Lower the left heel. 1 more time. Breathe in, lift up, and breathe out, lower down. Stay for the inhale and half pigeon pose. Right knee behind the wrist. Right ankle somewhere behind the left wrist. Let the left knee come down and scoochasana the left knee back. Try to keep the hips square to the floor as you frame the foot, frame the shin rather, with tented fingers. Always the option to bring a blanket or a block under the right hip if it's flopping down. Otherwise, take a full breath in proud pigeon and find yourself to forearms with the breath out. Press into those forearms, driving towards the shin to lengthen the spine with a slight tuck of the chin. Breathe in. Keep that right foot flexed as you stack the palms, let the elbows splay out, and find a resting place for the forehead. Now this could be palms, it could be stacked fists, it could be a block at any level. Or for some of us, depending on your body and always being mindful and truthful of that, it's okay if you don't find any of these variations, or if you find one that just feels better. For me, I find that left forearm along my sole of the left foot. Then I take a left cheek and I bring that right arm along the body. In some cases, depending on how long I sit in pigeon, I might even put a block underneath my left shoulder to try to keep my upper body square. Wherever you are in this extremely uncomfortable pose, trying to return to the breath. And perhaps just reflect on Satya, on truth. Is there something in your life that's being asked of you that you're concerned that it will just be too much? Is there something in your life that perhaps you already said no to, but maybe now you're wishing you said yes? Whether it's fear, whether it's anxiety, whether it's concern, sometimes we say yes, sometimes we say no, without really processing whatever it is that's best for our own selves. It doesn't make you selfish, it makes you realistic. Because if you are not realistic or truthful, and you take on or refuse whatever new possibilities there are, then ultimately it's going to be harmful. Take another long breath in, and a long breath out. From here, bring your palms back to frame the shin, remove blocks if you use them. Tuck the back toes under. Nice and slow, find downward facing dog, especially if you have no feeling in the right toes. Once you're here, option to find a vinyasa or counter pose. Counter pose could be the right leg lifts up, bend into that right knee, stack the hips, press the right shoulder down, lift the right knee higher, maybe rotate that ankle. Option to flip your dog as you drop the right foot behind you, spin the left toes to the back of your mat. Right arm comes up with the heart. Another inhale. And returning to downward facing dog. From here, the left leg lifts up. Gaze to those left toes. Lift onto the ball of the back foot. Keep the left leg strong. Keep pressing into the upper body. Full breath in. And right heel towards the mat. 2 more times. Lift up. Left foot flexed, right heel drops, lift up, and drop it down. Lift up, and left foot for pigeon pose. The knee behind the wrist, the ankle somewhere behind the other wrist, right knee drops, scooch it back as much as you can, shoelace part of that foot. Frame the shin, tented fingers, blocks, towels, blankets if you need them, full breath in, and forearms with the breath out. Shin drives towards the forearms and vice versa. Spine lengthens, chin tucks, breathe in. Keep that left foot flexed as the palms stack and the forehead finds a resting position. Keep trying to energetically shift the left hip back and up. The right hip forward and down, or whatever variation that allows your hips to square towards the mat a little bit more. The forearm for me finds the left sole of the foot on the right side. Drop a cheek, left arm behind. You're here for 10 rounds of breath. Reminding ourselves that not just on the mat should we be truthful for our own body and what it is capable of, but also off the mat being truthful to whatever will serve us to be better people, but also being truthful to those
that we are close to. Truthful without violence. In other words, speaking the truth doesn't mean you need to hurt someone's feelings. You can say it in ways that is the least harmful possible. Are your words truthful? Are your words going to inspire or benefit? Are your words necessary? And are they kind? Traveling through those gates is a guide for off the mat, for communication, for Satya. 3 more rounds of breath. Release your jaw, relax your facial muscles, relax your tongue. Another full breath in, and a breath out. From here, finding the palms, releasing blocks, towels, or whatever you might have used. Tuck the back toes under, nice and slow, finding your downward facing dog. Any movements once feeling returns that feels good. Scorpion dog, left leg lifts, bend that left knee, stack the hips, point the toes. Maybe rotate the ankle, lift the left knee higher, press more into the hands, drop the left shoulder. Maybe a flip dog. And downward facing dog, final vinyasa. Breathing in, come forward. Let the knees tap down for this final one. Elbow creases forward, breathe in. Lower all the way down. Baby cobra, lift up. And relax back down. From here, turn a cheek. Let the arms go along the side body, heels fall open. We'll find one belly down, back bend, but I'm going to give you 2 options. Now you either have a choice of finding locust or serpent, which could just simply mean a baby cobra with lifted hands and legs. But because we've done some work with quads, stretching and strengthening quads and calves, bow pose is what I'll guide you through. Bring your chin to center, bend into both knees, reach for the outsides of the ankles or the tops of the feet. Now if the knees widen beyond the hips, then you want to find the baby cobra serpent variation. Otherwise, flex the feet, and when you're ready, kick the feet to the hands to lift the upper body. The shoulder blades come together. The quads are still in contact with the mat. Maybe you stay here with the toes flexed to the back of the mat, or kick the feet up to lift the quads. Holding for 3, for 2, final breath in, and relax down, palms underneath the forehead, bend the knees, and windshield wipe those feet side to side. Coming back to center, relax the legs down, press yourself up, take the knees wide, toes together, hips sink back, child's pose. Take a full breath in, and a long breath out. From here, maybe you stay in child's pose or you find yourself to your spine. If you have blocks, take them with you as you lower down onto the back. Scooch yourself forward as you hug the knees in towards the chest. Slight tuck of the chin. The soles of the feet find the mat. Reach the fingertips for the heels. And then from here, you have 2 choices, either finding an active bridge or finding a restorative bridge. Wherever you are, press the palms into the side body, and the forearms begin to peel the low back and middle back off the mat so the hips lift. The knees stay hips width apart. This is where you can add the restorative variation, placing that block under the sacrum at the medium or the tallest level. If you found restorative, then bring the arms along the side body, palms up, so the heart opens a little bit more, and then focus on relaxing every part of your body. But yet at the same time, energetically, the knees going forward, soles of the feet pressing down and back, gaze to the ceiling, maybe a few feet towards behind you. If you're in a full active bridge pose, you might find the bind underneath the spine. You're here for 3, 4, 2, another full breath in, and a breath out. Those in active bridge, keep the hips lifted, release the bind, release the block. If you're restorative, take a full breath in. Bring your arms up, fingertips pointing towards the top of the ceiling, pressing into the upper arms. Full breath in. From the top of the spine, begin to lower down, 1 vertebra at a time. Let the low back find a natural curve. And then once you're there, lift both knees, cross the right thigh over the left, and hug those crossed legs in. Option to stay here or reach for the outsides of the feet, which is technically on the inside, and pretend you're pulling the legs apart, which is technically pulling them together. Should feel this in the outer hips. Take a full breath in. Also shoulder strengthening, breathe out. Another inhale. And an exhale. Release the feet. Let the left sole of the foot come down to the mat. Press to lift the hips. Just shift the hips a couple inches to the right, and then let the knees drop to the left as you reach the right arm in the opposite direction. Supine twist with crossed legs. Breathing here for 3, 4, 2. Final breath in, and a breath out. Coming back to center, uncross those legs, and from here, lift both legs, cross the left leg over the right. Hug them first in towards the chest. The more you squeeze the thighs, maybe the deeper the hug. And then from here, finding the insides of the feet or the outsides of the feet, depending on perspective, and then pulling apart or pulling together, also depending on perspective. Feet stay flexed, breathing for 3. Hey, is that Winston? You're making a lot of noise back there with that bone. Another full breath in. Oh, I didn't say for you to come over here. Releasing the feet and putting that right sole of the foot onto the mat. Once you're here, press into the sole of the foot, lift the hips, shift them a little bit to the left, and then drop those knees to the right as you extend the left arm out in front, out to the side rather. Supine twist. For 3, 4, 2. Don't drop it on my face, please. Final breath in. You're such a weirdo. And a breath out. Finding yourself back to center, uncrossing those legs and hugging them one final time in towards the chest. Soles of the feet find the mat, find a block or a rolled up blanket, lift the hips and just place that blanket or block underneath the sacrum. Extend the legs up towards the sky. Don't worry about bending, pointing, flexing, or anything of that sort. You're just letting the legs be kind of lazy. It doesn't mean you won't feel them, right? You work the legs, but Your core shouldn't be working. Back off. And really, this position should be setting us up or preparing us for Shavasana. Based on my canines, I'm not sure if it's going to be successful, but we'll see how it goes. Arms go along the side body, palms up, eyes closed. Lay down. Lay down. From here, you have the option to stay in your Viparita Karani, your waterfall pose. If you'd rather move to a more traditional Shavasana or even an ending hip opener, let the soles of the feet find the mat. Maybe the soles of the feet come together, the knees fall open, blocks might be underneath those knees, or all the way down, or legs extended. Once you're here, take one final breath in through the nose. Mouth opens, exhale. Just focusing on stillness. Well, Winston. If you're in a traditional Shavasana, letting the legs maybe come a little bit more together. If you're in a hip opener, allowing the knees to come together, then extend the legs long. The arms come up and overhead, interlace the fingers, palms to the back of the mat for a full body stretch. Bend into the knees, hug the knees in towards the chest, and rock and roll yourself up to a seat. Always the choice to find a fetal position in between, but just try to keep your eyes closed as you eventually find yourself back to a seat. Hands come to heart center, reflecting on Satya, truth, knowing that it's not just simply telling the truth to others, it's asking yourself if the words that you will speak are truthful, if they're kind, will they benefit or inspire? And are they necessary? And not just the words towards others, the words towards yourself. And even being truthful in all of the ventures that you choose to do or not to do. Will they benefit you? Are they necessary? Will it help in kindness? We'll close our practice by reaching our prayer up to our third eye, forehead center. The light, the love, and the truth within me honor and bow to the same within you. Namaste. And thank you everyone so much for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, have a great rest of your weekend.